every single company in existence should do. There's a really simple psychology to it. Another way for people to identify with your brand I don't like at all. That's how this all connected. That makes a great commercial. It's not inconsequential. It's designed to drive business. So looking through the type of content that Jiffy Lube uses, they have a number of different video types. I'm going to start with these how-to videos. These play a massive role in service industries. Specifically because services are unreplicable. They're entirely unique every single time. You don't know as a consumer how the service is going to be when you walk into a service location. If you go to a Jiffy Lube location, the same Jiffy Lube location, twice in the same day, you may receive different experiences and services at those two times. You'll get different things for your money. So as a service brand, you really need to make sure that you're building customer trust. These how-to videos are great with that because it does kind of pull back the curtain. And the auto industry is one that gets a bad rap as far as like press coverage. You see the news articles and the news headlines about how people are getting ripped off by auto service providers and mechanics. So they're fighting an uphill battle with that image. So providing content that establishes trust between the brand and customers, very important. Another thing I like about this how-to content is the topics that they chose just from a marketing perspective. If you'll see, these are all kind of tasks that their target customers will complete. We'll use how to jump a car battery as an example. This is a very good example. You'll notice this is showing you how to jump a car battery, but they don't show you anywhere how to change one because that's a service they provide. This works almost like SEO blogs on a website. Think about the customer who's going to interact with this content. If you're looking up how to jump a car battery on YouTube, you're probably in a few cases. First and foremost, you have an issue with your car or your battery, and you don't know how to complete the task, so you're not good at fixing and interacting with cars. Those two criteria match the perfect target customer for a company like Jiffy Lube. So let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to the Jiffy Lube Check and Change series, where highly trained Jiffy Lube technicians teach you how to do some simple preventive maintenance checks.
So that's going to be the core message of this type of content. Their mechanics and the people who work for Jiffy Lube are highly trained. They're really experienced in it. I'm sure that they have this being taught by a Jiffy Lube mechanic, whether it's actually a mechanic or an actor, I don't know. But someone who's representing Jiffy Lube's mechanics and their employees. So yeah, they're establishing the idea that their employees are experts in this field. Building your brand as an expert brand, or with authority is really what it's called, is really important for customer interactions. Gives you a lot of strength in sales, specifically personal selling, which Jiffy Lube does a lot of. You go into Jiffy Lube, they recommend services to you. So if you have the image of this type of person, a Jiffy Lube employee, as an expert, those recommendations and that personal selling is going to be more effective. So that's one of the images that this is presenting in the video. Okay, so it seems like they just kind of introduce it. They teach you how to do it and what you need. Of course, I'm wondering if they do any service placement. If anywhere, it would be right here. Let's see how they end it.
These simple guidelines to safely jump a vehicle battery next time the situation arises. Remember to have jumper cables handy so you can leave worry behind. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other helpful how-to videos.
And that's just a broad kind of call to action. So here's what I was looking for. In a situation like this, you have kind of a targeted customer who's going to be watching this type of video, like we talked about before. Someone who has an issue with their battery and doesn't know how to fix it. What you might add here, and actually final battery reminders is a good place to do it. It fits in with that theme, is to let the customers know when to bring their car into Jiffy Lube. Basically, you're establishing how this message and how the targeted audience of this video will interact with Jiffy Lube. It's not something they necessarily have to do. Like I said, there's a few good things about this content. They establish their authority as experts in the car field. They do target a very strong customer base for their services with the type of video this is, but you can add it kind of a more targeted call to action. Visit Jiffy Lube if your car isn't charging, if it's not holding a charge, if you need to jump it off in. But they didn't, and they didn't necessarily need to. But yeah, overall good video. This how-to educational style content, every single company in existence should do in one way or another. helps you target customers. It helps with your discoverability, establish authority, attach your brand to kind of broad, important ideas. So I really love this style of content, and I think they did it relatively well. The next type of content that I want to go over that Jiffy Lube seems to use a lot of is this community building content. You'll see they'll show kind of their philanthropy, the causes they support, how they're helping out the community. Like we said before, trust is important for service companies. It's doubly important for auto service companies just because of that industry's reputation. And building this community content definitely helps build that trust. There's a really simple psychology to it. Customers will always trust people who are most like them. One way to be like your customers is to participate in the communities and support the causes that they do as well. So you'll see the kind of topic of conversation. They're broadly positive causes they're supporting. MDA, I saw they have a whole Muscle Up campaign, which I'm pretty sure is muscular dystrophy. They support veterans. They give back to the community. So there's a lot of this kind of community building content. It's a majority of their video catalog. And again, it's just designed to establish trust. I don't necessarily want to dig into these. I don't know a ton about these causes, but that's the purpose of these style of videos. Something I'm actually noticing as I'm looking at this. So these, I think it's just these three. These three videos, Miami, Chicago, Houston, you can see they're regionalized. They're targeted to a specific location. That's another important aspect of community building. Of course, you identify the causes that you support and the communities that you want to be a part of as far as causes go, but you also identify the localities and the specific regional markets that you want to be a part of. Another way for people to identify what your brand is, oh, you guys support Chicago, you support Miami, you support Houston. So I would imagine that these are specifically targeting these regions. They're all major metro regions. It's not Fairfax, Virginia. It's not a small town. These are large markets that they're targeting. So customers in those areas are going to attach Jiffy Lube's brand to the local causes. Great idea to build trust. So the next type of content that I want to go through is this more commercial style content. These are more like TV commercials. It looks like they have the actual advertisements for the services, and then they have this is desire marketing. It's something I made a video on. You can tell through the imagery that they're using. It's not necessarily relating to Jiffy Lube, but it's marketing a desire or a feeling for their brand. Actually, let's dig into this. Looking at this is a tagline. Looking at how they're structuring this, okay, and they do go into their services a little. Looking at how they structure this, it's appearing to be about freedom. You can see the tagline, explore from anywhere. The title's anywhere from possible. And the imagery they use is actually really good for freedom. I like this one. It's showing a very freeing experience. This is something that will resonate with basically all audiences as freeing. You're out in nature with a mountain in the background, a running river, your wife or your loved one. So this is a good image for this. The whole point of desire marketing is to, as it sounds, leverage desires from customers. It's important to understand that marketing doesn't create desires. The people who are watching this aren't new to the idea of freedom. This is just evoking that emotion from the audience, and they're doing it through imagery. Anything emotional is generally done through imagery because that resonates really well with people and speaks loudly to emotions. So yeah, this is the idea of explore from anywhere. This is a good image for this. And then this will be the next one. Oh, something you want to notice, actually, I'm seeing because the car is so big here. There's a car in this one, but this is not an advertisement about a car. If you remove this logo, you would have no idea that this is even a Jiffy Lube commercial. It's one of the telltale signs that they're marketing a desire. It's not about their company. It's not about what they offer. It's just about kind of the emotion that these images are bringing to the audience, and they want to attach the brand to it. So, of course, you'll see the brand front and center. But if you removed it, you wouldn't know this was a Jiffy Lube commercial. These are commercials. You see these on Super Bowls a lot. Bud Light does good ones with like the horses and shit. They have the horses, and it has nothing to do with Bud Light or how refreshing their beer is. It goes into it later, but that's not the point of the commercial. But yeah, this is that style of marketing. So the next one, work from home, as you can see, car front and center. The message I like working. It's really an important thing. Kind of post. Like, okay, this is even a better message than I thought. You see the time period that they posted this. This is right during the lockdowns and when remote work is becoming like a national thing. The audience at this point will be starting to understand the freedom that comes with remote work and have freedom attached to that idea. So this is great, like a great use of this message, especially at this time period. The imagery, on the other hand, I don't like at all. You can see that they have the car, of course. The broad message that this seems to be sending, if you're Jiffy Lube, is this freedom is attached to your car, because Jiffy Lube is the one who fixes your car. So if your car's working, you have freedom. If you go to Jiffy Lube, your car will be working. So Jiffy Lube provides freedom. It's like that weird, that's how this all connected. So they have to have the car in this shot. And there's a few components that you need to send this work from anywhere message effectively. The car's the first one. The second one is you have to have a freeing experience being presented. This guy looks like he got kicked out of the house, to be brutally honest. This doesn't look like a freeing experience. He's in like a driveway. I don't like this imagery at all. I see the point of it. You have the car. You're able to be flexible with where you work. But there are better ways to do this. I would say my first thought would be, have a scene like this and somebody working, which it does have freedom. And it does show that you can work from anywhere and it'll have your car. However, nobody really wants to work from this kind of scene. They want to do this, enjoy their time with their loved ones. So it doesn't work for the message, work from anywhere. You can do something like a cafe, I suppose, because that is freeing to be able to work in public, I guess. Not at an office. It gives you kind of flexibility and freedom. You are working and you do need a car to get there. So I suppose that would work. Actually, thinking about it, no, because of this time period, you don't want to be in public around other people. So working with not in public, but not at your house and having to do with a car is really where you need this image to be. Okay, there's one. What about working with a close coworker or a friend from their house, driving over to their house, showing up with your laptop or your work bag, smiling, drinking coffee, building out like reports or presentations? That imagery would work significantly better for this. But yeah, so that'd be a better image, working from your friend's house, hanging out, having a good time while working. That would be able to represent this image better. It does have freedom. It shows you need your car to get there, and it's a place where people would work. And then the last one, I think that it goes into here, yeah. So the last one's going to be recharge from anywhere. Okay, so like relax from anywhere, out in the woods with the kids, maybe on a camping trip. That's a relaxing experience, so it definitely fits the message. You can see they're out in nature. Nature's a good expression of freedom. A lot of people think of being out in nature as freedom, being untied to, like civilization being freeing. So that's why you actually see that type of imagery twice here. In the beginning and here, they're both nature imageries. Yeah, the imagery is good. They have the dog. Actually, something that's really good about this image, it reinforces the idea that the car is attached to this freedom. Of course, you need a car to drive out to the woods, but you can see they're taking luggage out of the car. They have their dog with them. That reinforces that you need the car, not only to get here, but to experience this, being able to carry your stuff with you and plan for a camping trip. So this is a very good image to represent this message. I like this a ton. So from here, they do get into, yeah, what looks like their services. This will be like a smaller portion of this advertisement, just showing Jiffy Lube. Remember that they do show a few of these. Remember that the message that they're sending here is that you have freedom by working with Jiffy Lube, because your car equals freedom and Jiffy Lube makes sure your car works. So the first part of this is you have freedom with a car. The second part of this is going to be Jiffy Lube, make sure your car works. So we'll get into kind of the more stock footage. Something actually you'll notice, you see how this brand logo is overlaid with these images? Of course, if you remove them, you don't know it's a Jiffy Lube commercial, but this is central to the image. This is reinforcing the idea that all of this is tied to the brand. When you get into the more stock type footage, you see the logo disappears and it exists up here, but it's not central to the image. By this point, you know it's a Jiffy Lube commercial, so you don't still need that image, and this is all already tied to their brand. So they don't need to repeat their brand. Even like the changing oil and stuff, that's Jiffy Lube standard is car work. So they don't need to have that logo still here. But let's go through this a little bit. So you pull up the Jiffy Lube. Yeah, they're changing oil. They have a mechanic working under a car. Some logo placement. Changing a filter. Okay, so it looks like they go back to it. And then this is just another I honestly have no idea what this is. Yeah, so this is just reinforcing the message of we fix the car. Again, from the top of the message, you have freedom with your car, freedom to explore, freedom to work, and freedom to recharge with your car. And Jiffy Lube is the one who makes sure your car works. So, in a long way, Jiffy Lube provides freedom is the message. But yeah, this is just standard. There's no real much to say about this. It's just footage of work. Little product placement. Wonder if there's a deal there. Probably with Pennzoil, or some sort of partnership with Pennzoil. I'm 100% sure. Actually, you don't hold a product like that if you're not trying to show it off. And then they go back into just a final kind of hammering home of the idea of freedom. This is a freeing image. It's an open road. Obviously, there's no cars in front of you. One of the ways to tell that this is about freedom is if you put cars or traffic here, it obviously removes the freedom to it, and then this image isn't cohesive with the rest of the message. So you know this is about freedom, because if you remove the idea of freedom, it no longer even makes sense in this commercial. So yeah, that's how you know it's freedom. They hammer it home. They don't need the logo again, because we've been through the fact that this is a Jiffy Lube commercial. They're just closing it out. And they don't have a... Okay, yeah, they don't have a call to action here. Call to actions are important for telling customers next steps and what you need them to do. But with a video like this is not about driving sales or revenue or driving business to your locations. This is strictly brand building. They've done the job of attaching the idea of freedom to their brand, so they don't need a call to action here. So yeah, I really like that one. I'm glad it was some desire marketing, because like I said, I have the video about it, and this is a good long form explanation of how that's supposed to work. They also have what look to be just like traditional service ads. You can see the message that they're trying to send is they're this kind of one-stop shop for car services. You see the title's one place. It shows all the services they offer. Let's dig through this one a little bit. So just driving into Jiffy Lube. It's our job, saying this is what we do. Something to notice here. This is going to sound silly to say, but you see that there's no line of cars here. And of course, when you go to mechanics and Jiffy Lubes, there often is line of cars. Most people think, like, of course they don't show lines of cars, but there's a reason for that. There's a message there. It's not inconsequential. They're trying to show you that it's not a hassle to deal with Jiffy Lube, and trying to avoid some of the obstacles. This is something I talk about in my obstacle video. They're demonstrating how they can remove obstacles from your experiences with mechanics and service companies. So this is an obstacle engineering. It's showing that work with us, there are no obstacles. But we'll go back through it. Of course, they're going to show the services that they have. You'll notice it's for both of them, actually. So you'll notice these are side by sides. What they're trying to do is just show you that they offer all of the services you need. So they're showing two at once, so it feels like they offer more services. It's almost like cluttered with the amount of services that they have. You'll also see that what these services are very broad. They're not niche car needs like changing a brake pad or something weird. They're changing oil, again, product placement, Pennzoil. There's got to be a deal there. I don't know if there is. I would imagine there's a deal or a partnership there. We've seen it twice, so I'm sure. And tire rotation, changing oil, that's a broad service that a lot of people will need. What is that? They're changing a filter, replacing windshield wiper blades, it looks like. Yeah, broad services that people need regularly. Just showing you that we offer all of the services that you need. That it reaches a larger audience with those types of services. Again, what your car needs. This is something talked about in the needs breakdown analysis. This is just positioning a solution to a pain point. It's done in a broad way because they're not marketing a specific service. But basically the pain point that you have as the potential customer is your car is not working. The solution is we have what your car needs. Really simple, just traditional kind of needs-based advertising message. And then you're going to leave here with a smile. We've got happy employees. We're going to take good care of you. Yeah, big, beautiful smile. And it looks like he's waving you away. Yeah, and just, yeah, come again. So I know I did that kind of broken down. What you can do with this, and I don't have the volume on because you could hear it in my mic. You can narrate these just based on the imagery. You can understand what the message is just by the imagery. That makes a great commercial. But let me show you. I'll walk through it and I'll just narrate it as if I'm describing what they're doing. So you're going to drive into Jiffy Lube. It's going to be a no-hassle experience. We offer all of the services that you need. These are needs that you'll have often. We have what your car needs. They use the word needs. You're going to leave with a smile. Your car is going to be working. Our friendly employees will be excited to see you next time. And you'll notice on this one, they do have a call to action because this is a service advertisement. This is just designed to drive business and to create demand for their specific services. That's a job for Jiffy's. The tagline, basically, what you need is what we do, is what they're saying. Yep, so very good. It's standard. There's nothing spectacular about it, but it's not bad at all. It's a very good example of this kind of standard advertisement. This is how a lot of companies look at advertising, showing what we do, which is great. It should be a part of your marketing mix, but there's a lot more different roads you can travel with marketing than just this type. But this is pretty standard. You see this a lot. I think that is all that I wanted to talk about for Jiffy Lube, is those three types of content that they're using. Again, the commercial style content, it's the community building, trust building content, and then the how-to educational content and how that targets customers and builds trust. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and leave a comment below if there's a specific topic or company that you'd like me to cover. I'll see you next time.